So hello everybody. I know it's been a little while since I've been out and about, and principally that's because of school holidays in the UK, and yeah, that's going to be hard for dieting kind of purposes. I've had lots of trips away with the children and lots of theme park visits and lots of eating theme park food, and thankfully I've managed to stay the same weight. But today is kind of momentous, I suppose, because it's the start of my 32-week trek training program. So I've been reading a lot of the comments on what people have been commenting on my video, numerous videos, and there's been some really good advice on there. And so one of the things that was in the back of my mind, because if you recall I was talking about walking the West Highland way in Scotland, and I think one of the concerns about that particular trip, one of my own concerns, is walking unsupported effectively for the full 98 miles from Glasgow to Fort William, which is fine. I'm good with that. That's no problem. I've done that kind of thing before. Shorter backpacking trips up in what we call in the UK the Brecon Beacons, which is in South Wales. I've done a couple of overnight wild camping trips in there a long time ago when I was younger, and a little bit fitter, but not hugely amount fitter. Ooh. But one of the comments on the YouTube videos was some kind of sort of advice, really, and it got me thinking. So effectively, the advice was somebody else who had walked the West Highland way, but they'd done a training walk before that, which was the Hadrians wall path, which is another UK long distance trail which goes from Bowness on Solway to Wallsend, which is just to the east of Newcastle upon Tyne. And the interesting thing about Hadrian's wall path is that in the UK we have a thing called the National Cycle Network, and the Hadrian's wall path effectively follows National Cycle Network Route 72. So effectively there's a lot of road walking, not a lot of off-road walking, but route finding is generally easy. Because it's in a national park, you can't theoretically wild camp, so effectively you'd be camping on the National Trust, well, not National Trust, independent campsites and bed and breakfasts along the way. It's a lot more civilized, I think. Also, the advice that a lot of people have given is don't start in Bowness on Solway, because effectively you've just got a bus journey out to the start, and then you've got 15 miles walking along a road which is pretty featureless. So I was kind of thinking, well, okay, we can start in Carlisle and then maybe walk to Newcastle. The last bit of the walk is Newcastle to Wallsend, to the reconstructed Roman fort of Kdenlive. And again, if you actually look at the we can look on Google Street View for the most of the route, and the route from Newcastle city centre to Kdenlive at Wallsend is effectively walking through an industrial estate. That doesn't sound picturesque or nice in any way at all. So I mapped it out, the route going from Carlisle to Newcastle city centre, and it's 67 miles. And I'm thinking, I could do that in a week. 7 days off work. That'd be pretty easy to achieve, I think. Assuming I'm walking assuming I'm walking 10 miles a day, and then keep the West Highland way on the back burner for the time being, and see how I get on with that. What do you think? What do you think I should do? So this training plan I was talking about, it was for 16 weeks, and what I've done is I've doubled it to 32 weeks, because I think one of the problems I have with if you've ever seen these couch to 5k kind of programs, they go, oh yes, you can run so far in this first week and then run so far in the second week. And that's all right for average thin people, but if you're slightly carrying too much weight, I think the problem with that thing is that it doesn't take into account your body getting used to the exercise, if you kind of see what I mean. And so I've taken a 16-week program and extended it, so each week that I'm supposed to complete the exercise, I've made that into 2 weeks. And I think there is a reasoning to this, is that the idea is it gets your body used to the exercise, and also weekends kind of get in the way of things. I don't know if you find this, and the problem is that I work part-time for the ambulance service here in the UK, doing events work. And I'm often out at the weekends covering rugby and football matches and that kind of thing. And when the program is set to go, well, we're going to go out and do a 5-mile walk or a 7-mile walk or something like that at the weekend, and you go, well, I don't really have the time, because I've got to get into my uniform, and then I've got to drive out to X place, drive into London or something like that. They just don't get the time. So life gets in the way, and as a mitigation factor for life not getting in the way, double up the weekends, and then hopefully it should sort itself out. But I'm going to give it kind of like a month and see how that gets on. Second point I wanted to cover was the diet plan. I struggled with a lot of the diets that are out there, and a friend of mine who's vegan, she kind of put me on to or helping me with a vegan diet, because you know, vegans like to help other vegans or other people to become vegan, and I'm finding that really helpful. I'm losing quite a bit of weight on the vegan diet, because effectively you're filling yourself up on vegetables, and and consequently because there's a low calorific value to vegetables, then you tend to not eat as many calories. So and then if you are expending more calories than you're eating, then you should be losing weight, all things being considered. So I'm trying a vegan diet and seeing how that goes, and I'll come back to you in the next couple of weeks and we'll see how we go, and I'll let you all know how it's all going, the fitness and the diet and the everything. Okay, super. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Not gonna bother, don't bother with that please subscribe, I'm desperate for a subscription. I'm not interested in monetization. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.